Amongst all the plastic throwaway televisions, I just want to document this one here. 1985 RCA color track. Already been out in the rain. CTC 118 1920 it says. I had one of these. I don't want to be dating myself, but I was all excited to get one of these back. Oh boy, it was probably in the 80s. It's a great set. Served me well. I even sold it. Here we are, the 25 VGDP22. The model GKR 795. Made in Bloomington, Indiana, USA. Same with this Magnavox. Made in Greenville, Tennessee, USA. I'm not bothering taking that apart, but it's the end of the era for the consoles. I just thought I'd get that in. All across the country, being disposed of. Oh, what are we up to today? I figured I'd post some sort of video. This is, I bought a few of these. These are motion sensor LED lights. Of course, it won't come on now because it's daylight, but at night you walk in the room, it's got the photo sensor and a ring of LEDs, and it's quite nice actually. You walk in, the lights come on. But I bought like 5 of them, and one of them had a defect. I'll show you. And here's the package. It's got a little gooseneck. Plug it in the AC 110, or even came in a European style adapter. And this one here was acting funny. Walk in the room, it wouldn't come on. You tap it, even at night, it would come on. Well, under close examination, I figured it must be a cold solder joint. So, sure enough, without getting into too much detail, I'll give you some focus here. The photo sensor there has one leg that's not soldered. Not much to this thing. That's the transistor that does the switching to the bank of LEDs here. And you get a little, well, I'd say 3 or 4 watt inverter here, a driver, whatever you want to call it. And it all snaps together quite nicely. I imagine this is what senses whether it's daylight or not. So anyway, I'm going to solder up pin number, whatever it is here. I don't know if you can see. No, you probably can't see that, but that pin right there, the one facing leftmost, is it's not connected. So it was just barely touching a hint of solder. So we're just going to doctor that up, and I'll give you a demonstration. Yeah, that leg right there, you can see there's no solder. Just a hint of splash of solder. We'll doctor that up. Okay, we doctored that up, and we'll reassemble and give it a try. Okay, all that's left is just snap the cover back on. And while I'm at it, I was walking by an e-waste bin and I saw this inside. Mind you, I have a Tektronix 300 megahertz scope, but it's kind of intimidating with all the controls. This is a very simple 2-channel basic scope, and it's missing one knob. But I downloaded the manual for it, and it works. There's nothing wrong with it. Give it a minute to warm up there. I've already tested the calibration pin and all that. It's in good shape. That's the Tenma 720 20 megahertz scope. Should be fine for TV work. Another thing this week in the bargains that couldn't be refused is this Brewster made by McGuire Corp. I have one of these, but it's missing the dial. This piece here is absent. There's no numbers, and it had no knobs or something. So, and you see one like one that you have, you shouldn't pass up. This is cracked, by the way. It has a crack here and a crack on the side. It's wonderful marbleized Bakelite on this one, but I may just put some super glue along the inside to fasten that up. But it is shortwave and broadcast. And that's the Brewster. And what's the date on this? I'd like to say like 48 or so. It doesn't have, it's an early Sam's. I don't have, this must be before they put the dates on the Sam's. Anyway, has the old style IFs, and it'll be fun to play with. Again, no date, but I'm going to say 48 or so for this one. No phonograph input. That's what it looks like inside. Okay, back to the light. Oh, one other thing. Another thing, I have Sony Betamaxes. Actually have Sanyos, and I have about 50 tapes that I want to digitize, but I don't trust the Sanyo players with the idlers and everything, so I picked up this. My tapes are hi-fi, so I need hi-fi. This was bought not working. Most of them, either the gears get jammed here, or some had capacitor motor speed problems, the early ones. This one I've already ordered the regulator for, because I remember something. This powers up, the clock comes on, there's no hi-fi light, and in the power indicator there's no LED in there. And I remember that being part of the power supply voltage missing. So I've ordered I think it's an STK regulator in there, and hopefully this thing will be up and running so I can digitize some of my tapes from 1984. And again, I need hi-fi. I have a test tape here. Music exercise video. But okay, that's one project. A few weeks ago I showed you a Sony 12-inch from 1976 broadcast commercial TV, and then I go and I see this thing on the ground. The only damage it had is when they dropped it on the ground. It's missing a couple of corner pieces there. This is a KV1215, and it powers on, except it's green. I don't know how good the CRT is, and the picture is shrunk in on about the sides, and it's humming. So I'm citing capacitors on there. It did play. I don't know about the tube. It was missing one of the, when it got tossed, it missed one of the little colored plastic things there, but I've managed to, I looked on the ground and I found that, and I found the chunk of wood from the corner, so the only piece that'll really be missing is right there. But again, that's from 1976. That's the KV1215. Nope, KV. Yeah, it says 1512 on the Sam's here. It's 1215. KV1512. That's funny, because over here it says KV1215. Oh, there's our light working. So if I hold still, it will go out. The light is out when you walk in. The light comes on. Perfect. Okay, light went out. If I so much as move, it comes on. Simple as that. Oh, why not? I'll give you a little demonstration of the Sony plugged in. I have it in one of these remote switches because the power switch is kind of sticky and it's hard to pull out without the knob coming off. So I've got one of these remotes. I'll just turn it on, show you what it does. See, it's got a terrible hum, and I'll just let it come on to show you the 60 cycle. And the CRT looks down to me. That's funny how the camera picks up the screen before anything else. Okay, we did have brightness the other day. There it is. That's about it. I'm saying open filter capacitor. And no blue. Not a hint of blue there. Well, there's your Sony KV1215. As found. Oh, what the heck, why stop now? Let's see what this Brewster radio does. It does have a choke in there and some small filter capacitors. I just happen to have the Variac handy, so we'll Variac was like feet away, so let's we got Mr. Kilowatt on it too, just to see what it might draw. So here we are at, oh, I don't know, put on 30 volts here, turn it on. What kind of watts? 7 watts, 6. The Variac was drawing 3 itself, so it is drawing some power. I'm gonna bring it up to like 60, let it sit. See if we got dial lights or not. Probably no dial lights, but alright, we'll come back to this in a minute or two. Up around 80 volts. It's only been a minute or so.
We're part of these associations, and the first time I met Mike, he was speaking at a conference on special needs trust, and I knew from that moment on we would be good friends, because he does what this show does. He breaks down the legal mumbo jumbo. So Mike and I are going to do a little...
That works, that's a local. Another one.
Well, there's a big, especially with restaurants that are trying to develop their bar program, there's a big movement to be herb forward in a lot of beverages, because
up
alcohol,
around 100.
Various alcohols,
Yeah,
dissolve
110.
those oils, those herbs very well. Hold on.
The Brewster shows signs of life.
It's amazing how Basil takes it up a notch.
Yeah, well, when I was doing my training,
Oh, shortwave, see if we get anything. That's for tuning. Okay. Real close together, but well, you get the idea there.
all kinds of problems. With a will, for example, particularly if you have minor children, you can nominate in that will who you would like to serve as guardian or conservator, the person who would take care of.
Yeah, it's a capacitor that does that.
Child and the finances
Yeah,
for
we'll go
that
up to like
child.
115.
Without a will, is pretty much open season. And in the event that there is family conflict, and I hate to tell you this, but there is often family conflict after one of these types of events.
Thanks for watching.
You know, that's just one of many areas where they could end up in a very public, very expensive battle in the probate.
Alright, to round out the video, we're off to pick up a GE Power Tuning black and white set. Only distinguishable by that big oval speaker it has on the side. Okay, we're just going to do a quick next day video here of the television, and this time it's a GE. There's one slight problem though. Okay, if this keeps up, we're going to have to get an airplane hangar for some of these items, but here is, I don't know the year. Again, I should put the knobs on. Let's take care of that. Okay, here we are with all the knobs. Bass, treble, brightness, contrast, push on, off. It's a very narrow set. which I like. It's probably not even 24 inches, probably about 18 inches deep. But the one disturbing point is when I looked around the back for the speaker, there is none. There is no giant coaxial speaker. It's missing. Well, it wasn't a deal breaker, but then let's get the model here. It's dark. Okay, I'm hoping it's the 21C3573. Power tuning. It is a remote set. That's the remote unit down there. Oh, and it has a radio, TV phono jacks on the back, which I like. Okay. What's this other jack here? It says phono. I can't read what that says. Speaker? You can add another speaker to it. Okay. Alright, that'll do it for the GE 21-inch. Nothing more than like a tabletop in a slim box. And again, no speaker. They're a little dark, but there's a couple pictures of our Betamax here, and our regulator came in, so we'll install this shortly and see if it cures the problem. I believe the 9 volts is what's missing. Okay, here's a little clearer shot of the Betamax. Picked this up for not a lot of money. I'm not going to spend a lot of money on one. And yeah, it's missing the door and the tuning control door up there. But as I said, the regulator's in. We'll get this going. I have one last thing to show. I was at another local shop and I saw this on the floor. And it's a... I don't know why they put the... It's odd. They have the writing upside down, or right side up. Going this way, yet the tuning AM radio is this way. That's kind of odd to me. But anyway, this is a 1969 Realistic Radio Shack portable record player, an AM radio. Tied down with a shoelace. It's in fairly good condition. 3-speed, I've noticed. We have 45, 78 and off, and I believe that's neutral, or maybe that's radio. That's what that is. But the idler is not on. There's no pressure on here. This lifts right off, by the way, and it is rim drive with a standard, well, I'll say DC motor, but it's not a what was I gonna say? It is a DC motor, but yeah, it's idler drive anyway. Again, the date code is 1969. It's also in the Radio Shack catalog for new for 1969. Yeah, so this is the volume here. Everything's a little tacky. We'll check the stylus, and there's one thing on this I did want to mention on the batteries. I'll show you. Take a look at the battery compartment, and I'm not sure whether this has to do with that these early transistor sets charged the batteries or not, but it has the 110 AC on the side there, and then there's a note. Oh yes, and it has the original batteries in it still, but it says caution, batteries should not be removed even when AC cord is used. Now, why on earth would that be? Well, there's 4 batteries in there. There's probably 6 batteries in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't know. Haven't taken them out yet. It says leave the batteries in even when on AC. I'm assuming that it's for a trickle charge, or I'm not certain of what harm you could do by not having the batteries in. Alright, and wooden sides. Someone has stapled in a few places. Got some nails. and whatnot. I don't know if that's factory or not, but still in one piece, the Realistic Radio Shack Portiplay from 1969. Alright, that's it for now. That's enough to keep us busy for a while. Thanks for watching. I did pick up some standard wood glue here to glue our Sony back together. I may fill that corner, well, that corner we have, but the other corner with perhaps plastic wood or something like that, just to keep it in the same color. Okay? Alright, that'll do it for now. Thanks for watching.